What's up, folks? This is the Savage Scientist Ed on this 5th day of Vlogmas in 2024. And I'm coming at you today when I was trying to figure out which of these Dickies shirts I'm going to wear today. I ultimately selected this one and came across this great article, the 6 password takeaways from the updated NIST cybersecurity framework. And NIST, that's the National Institute of Science and Technology. They are responsible for most of the current enterprise networking systems that we know and love and trust today. NIST isn't the only one who decided to create this. If you get into any hacking material, hacking stuff, you're going to find out that NIST created this series of different colored books that kind of set the guidelines for computer systems, security of computer systems, passwords, and all that good stuff. It's a great read. I never read it, but it's a great read anyway. So it's saying it's number 1, password length versus password complexity. What's the difference between these two? I can give you a quick example. Password length is how many characters you could put into the system. So let's say you go to the bank, the ATM at the bank, put your card in, you only can type in 4 characters. The password length is 4. Of those 4 characters, you only could put in numbers. So the password complexity would be 10, from the numbers 1 through 10. And we know you can't just type in a 10 because a 10 is actually 2 characters, but you could type in 0. 0 is still 0 through 9 is 10 different numbers that you could put in. So you have a 1 in 1,000% chance, 1 in 1,000 chance of someone guessing your password. So if it was 1 character and you could use between 1 through 9, no 0, you would have a 30, you get 3 shots. You would have a 33% chance of guessing the right password. So we went from 1 in 1,000 to 33% just by increasing the password complexity and the password length. So password length is how many characters. Password complexity is how many different things you could put in as one of those characters. Now, according to this article, it is saying the best thing to use is a combination of both of them. So this, I'ma shama lama lama lama, whatever this is easier to remember as a password as this random generated thing. But this looked like something I would use as a password. So this would be short for something like Hewlett Packard, never, and let me think. So this would be something. I can't think of what this would mean, but it'll make more sense. So if I would say Hewlett Packard never owned Sony, HPN X50NY, something like that. So each character would represent something. So that's it. So try to make passwords that look more like this and less like 1, 2, 3, 4, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or some bullshit that I try not to cuss, or something that's easily could be guessed, like your name, the company name, the website name. Try not to do that. So facilitate longer passwords. With this one, I would say this one is building on what we had above. And it is saying, you know, sometimes this is more on the other end of the spectrum. The system designers should be supporting up to 64 characters. And that just makes it so so whenever you put the password in, make it 64 characters. So we got to take your password, add salt to it. We call it salt when you add additional characters on both sides of the password. That's what salt is, to make it harder for a hacker to understand or get. So that's important now. And number 3, implement MFA, multi-factor authentication. Have you ever noticed whenever you log in, you put your password in, and then you get a little text in your phone, you gotta type in that number? That's multi-factor authentication. That makes it even harder. So even though they know your password, they still gotta type in that phone number. So that means they gotta have your phone too. That makes it a lot harder for somebody to get in and get your password and get in and take your money out your bank account. Avoid frequent password changes. So they trying to say, this makes people lazy, and they're gonna start writing their passwords down on the keyboards. The more frequently they have to change it, the easier or the more difficult it's gonna be to manage people, because they're gonna lose productivity, because every 5 minutes, every 2 weeks, they gotta change their password, and they're gonna start doing stuff like writing their passwords down the more that they have to change it. So this is where I would say multi-factor authentication will come in handy, because now that you got the phone giving you a password or a passcode every time, this will be a thing in the past. Yep. Let's move on to number 5. Stop using already breached passwords. So sometimes companies have a list of passwords that they are known to have caused the breach. They just say stop using it. So if you work for Microsoft and M1CR0S51ST was known to be a password that a lot of people used, it got breached, 5 people lost their accounts, hackers got in from those 5 accounts, we're not going to use that anymore. We're going to ban that password. I do not agree with this, because that means you just advertising one password less. And I think that if someone uses the same password, banning it, I could see what. I would say banning that password will work, but I would probably just say scrap the system, don't allow people to use that password, but also implement multi-factor authentication to make it so even if they use the already used password, they still can't get access to the system. Alright, so let's see what this is saying. Password vulnerability scopeless. So what they're saying is that these passwords were breached. We're trying to check all the accounts to see if any of those show up in the last 5 password list. No, this is something different. Passwords. So I guess this is a list of people accounts with blank passwords. I don't even know how you can have a blank password. So this is a password auditing system, and it just shows the classification of passwords that users have. I mean, this looks like it's trying to sell something, but it's good to have. See, it's trying to sell this Spec Ops password auditor. Give you a granular look at people's password. They just throw an advertisement right in the middle of this document. You see, this is the type of stuff that really get me with these articles. So we could just ignore this, but this is a great utility now that it's in the middle of this article. So use this if you want to audit your passwords. Number 6 will be discontinue password hints and other knowledge-based recovery. I'm trying to think, is that really as bad as it seems? I think that in order to get a password hint, you have to go through the process of resetting the password. And before we reset the password, you could request the hint to be sent to an email address before you reset the password. That is a damn good solution to this, because most of the time I think it's saying, hey, hint, show it. And it might actually be something like it might say something like the password you always use when you're logging into Walmart. Alright? So that hint is crucial because it's not giving you information, because now they gotta know your Walmart password. And then when you go to Walmart, if you could do that same hint and say, hey, the hint that you use to go to the site that you're trying to log into. So you won't get anywhere, because this one is pointing there and that one is pointing there. You know, I'm pointing to you, you know, we pointing to each other. Boom, you out the game. You don't know what's going on here. So that's the end of this article. It was a great read today. So just remember this. Passwords are here to protect you online from hackers. And that's all for today, folks. I really don't have any other stuff. So I gotta iron my Dickie shirts because I got business to take care of. And until I make my next video, peace out.